The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Tom and Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. Tommy O'Brien with Tom O'Brien. It's Friday. We got some market action. We got a jobs number, and we got markets pretty much flat after coming into the opening bell down. Dow is down over 100 points. Dow's now down 1 point. S&P's negative by 1 point. NASDAQ positive by 6 points. Morning, Tom. Happy Friday.
Morning, Tommy. How you doing?
Doing well, man. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, some nice volatility on this open. There's no doubt. You had the futures down 15. Bump. All the way, you're only down 4 right now, just like yesterday. Pretty cool, man. You know,
yeah.
Bottom line, you know, we'll see where this shakes out, but this is deviant for both bulls and bears at this particular point. That's where this is kind of shaking out. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yesterday, really remarkable in terms of Dow being down almost 400 when we got off this program at 11 o'clock.
Yes.
And, man, by the end of the day, and it started literally right at 11 o'clock as we got off the air. And, of course, by the end of the day, markets were flat, if not slightly positive.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man.
Yeah.
You got to love it.
Totally.
And, you know, what you have out here, folks, if we take a look at this, you have, you know, the February 9th, of course, high volume lows laying out there. My take is going to get tested. You know, you had another high volume low yesterday. Now, what's going to be cool today is that we're going up today, and you're basically, if we go up on lighter volume, the probability is what this is all about. This is building cause to go downtown. So it's going to be cool at the end of the day. Like, okay, you know, yesterday, if we take a look at that SPY, we had the expansion in volume in all the indices. SPY goes lower yesterday. We did, 136 million, taking out the swing low from the 25th with 103, and you know, we'll see how this shakes out, meaning going topside. But I do expect that, you know, you get a sideways movement. We're going to have some topside movement out here. You know, the thing that's amazing, and a couple of the tigers were talking about this inside the den, is that you have a market, folks, inside the dollar. You know, we're up 319 ticks. You know, it wants to test this 93 area. And guess what? The metal still won't give it up. So
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be, yeah. So let me just bring this dollar up so we can take a look at this, because this thing is sticking out like a sore thumb, too. Okay, so we hit 92,775. The number up here, though, is 93,480. Right? We'll see where it shakes out.
Yeah, quite a run recently in that dollar. And like you said, I mean, gold may have been up there at maybe 1360, but just recently, even in the last like 3-4 days, right? Quite an acceleration to the upside, and gold kind of hanging at that 1310, flirting with 1300 a few times, but just kind of hanging tough.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you had the pop on the, well, you know what's amazing? So I happened to be in the car when hearing these numbers, because I was just coming out of a meeting, right? And I'm saying, oh no, with that kind of number, what are they going to do with gold? You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, you know, guess what, folks? Bottom line, they didn't sell it off. So
no,
it's like,
I mean there was I mean the bar right on the news, it jumped from 1310 to 1315 instantly.
Yes.
You know, within the 5-minute bar. I have the chart up on Nadex right now, and from there it actually trailed off right back to where it was, but the initial thrust was upwards.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Deviant, man. And of course, notes and bonds. So the note and bond market's going to be a big one out here today. And the reason being, folks, is that on the 10-year, this 119.14 is a big number. And we're 10 ticks above it right now, you know, and I don't see it giving it up. And, you know, that's also really deviant. I mean, because we know that the Fed, you know, bottom line is that, you know, they plan on going up on short-term rates the June 13th meeting. You know, we know that it seems like whether it's the earnings numbers are coming in good, jobs are coming in good. You know, this is, when you take a look at this market, it's amazing that it hasn't gone to the moon. That's, You know, because on top of all of this, so check this out. On top of all this, folks, this is the first quarter that you're also getting the numbers with this tax cut that's in there. So picture this for a second. This is a one-time event, meaning that this would be the first quarter that all the large corporations can take advantage of the tax rate coming down dramatically, right? Well, the market's always looking from year to year. What's going to happen a year from now, year over year? How are they going to basically accelerate that up? Do you know what I'm saying?
Especially just like you say, as you have the banks delivering record numbers across the boards, right? You know, are they going to be forced to deliver record numbers in, you know, forever, right? No, exactly, right?
And it's going to be a lot harder because their tax rate went down so dramatically. So how do you accelerate that rate, that earnings number up? Which
the revenue growth, the earnings growth,
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Now, you know, I was reading an article this morning. I'm pulling it over. So there's just 5 takeaways from the jobs number, and of course, the big number that you'll hear about consistently, right? It's going to be that unemployment falling to 3.9%. First time since 2000 that we've had a 3 handle on that. What was intriguing, though, is that a big factor in that 3% was the fact that the shrinking labor pool continuing, with 410,000 people dropping out of the workforce.
Really?
Yeah, and so bringing the total to 95.7 million. And that's a big reason for the headline unemployment rate. So it's pretty intriguing. And that can be a lot of things. That can be early retirement. You know, that can be a factor that's not necessarily, you know, people working age just deciding to never work again. There's a lot of factors that play into that. But it's not like the job growth is what drove that down by itself. You know, there are other factors at work there. And then, of course, the continuation of the wage growth disappointment, where wage growth 2.6% year on year versus the expectation of 2.7. So something to consider there.
No, it definitely is. I mean, there's and you know, the dollar, you know, that dollar, we'll see where this shakes out at the end of the day. But bottom line is that, you know, what does happen is that these large multinationals, the higher the dollar goes, the more problematic it's going to be for them selling goods overseas too. So we got a lot of different things that are happening simultaneously, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's get into the what's happening with. Let me pull up Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. We got a little upward action, right?
Okay.
I checked that out. Almost 10,000, right? Yeah, 96.63. We got your chart up there. Quite an acceleration when you look back to you know, where we were in terms of being at almost 6,000 at the beginning of April, almost a month ago. And
it's $3,000 up from April 6th.
Yeah, and even right. Pretty remarkable. 50%, call it, from that time in less than a month. And even just, you know, that's looking at it on a monthly, and I'm just going to get in here and I'm going to pull up. I want to pull up the chart here because I was going to say, just overnight the move is remarkable in terms of we were approaching 9,000. Let me get this up. Bitcoins, weeklies. And we shot up and almost reached 10,000. I mean, we were as high as 97.64. We were as high as 98.04 at about 7 o'clock last night. And that's after being down, I mean, call it Wednesday evening at 9,000. You know, spiking to 9,800. Pretty cool.
That's 11. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. We have the Dow Industrials up 60, NASDAQ up 34, S&P's up 1.5. Tommy and I are coming right back, folks.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. We take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Tom and Tommy O'Brien. You get the S&P's flat, Dow Jones up 44 points, NASDAQ up 34 points, NASDAQ 100 up 22 points, and Apple up $5. Did you see Warren Buffett staking his billion? I mean, I think he already has 100 million shares at least of Apple, but in the last quarter, purchasing 75 million shares. Nothing like a $1.35 billion position, at least at $180. That's what that would be. And like is the case, you know, you got a investor like that in your stock. Apple gets quite a bump. Yes, and I just pulled it up right here. Yeah. So, you know what's intriguing about this is that CNBC reported it, so I'm sure it's probably there. Yeah. It's just interesting. It's not registered right here right now. Yeah, we're looking at your screen. I can see. Yeah. And, yeah, maybe we haven't reached those quarterly. When are the quarterly filings? Is it March 31st? When we're close, at least. Let's see what this says here. Okay, yeah, Berkshire bought additional 75 million shares of Apple in the first quarter while dumping the remaining stake in IBM. Yeah, he owned a lot of IBM, so he swapped it out. Apple, you could say, is almost the new IBM, right, in terms of a driving force. Yeah. So let's see. It would cost them anywhere between $11 billion and $14 billion. That's what they're saying. Oh, it's 13.5 then. I was dropping my zeros. No, is that right? Yes. Is that right? Yes, it is. Yeah, it's 13.5 billion. I was dropping zeros, man. I thought it was 1.3 billion. Yeah, 13.5. At $180, it would have been 13.5 billion. Go ahead. Pretty wild, right? It is, yeah. So let's go over and say it's well, here's this quote. It's an unbelievable company, Buffett said in the interview. The idea of spending loads of time trying to guess how many iPhone X's or whatever it may be going on to be sold in a given 3-month period of time, to me, totally misses the point. Yeah, and that gels with his general investing, it does. You know, attitude in terms of, you know, big companies that have great name recognition, great brands, never going to go out of business. That used to be IBM, and today that's probably Apple. In terms of he's not worried about quarterly numbers. He's just worried about not worry, but he's just interested in the fact that, guess what, iPhones aren't going away. Everyone's going to be buying a new one if you already own one every 2 or 3 years probably. And that's a safe bet for him with upside potential at a decent price. You look at Apple's PE, it's not that bad.
No, not in the context of I know when I was on the other day, Mr. Dave White, he was mentioning that the market cap of Apple, half of it is in cash.
Yeah, right. I know, no risk there, and it's all going to start coming back to investors too. Even better, right?
Yeah.
In terms of those, the $100 billion buyback on top of what they already have planned. So you can only spend so many billions on research and development, it seems, before you get some negative returns. And Apple realizes that, and they're just going to start giving it back to investors. Pretty good. You just make too much money to even be innovative with it for a company like Apple. But that's where they approached, I mean, for a while, you never would have seen Steve Jobs giving back money because of the potential for growth. But in terms of when you have, $500 billion in cash sitting around and you're printing money every single quarter, there comes a point, and they've reached that point where they just got to start giving it back.
No, there's no doubt, man. Yeah. There's no doubt. Pretty wild, man.
I was going to jump over to the Nadex platform, sir, for a second. So with gold having some action, it's always interesting looking at gold on a Friday, right?
Yes.
And what's intriguing, so I jumped to the spreads. I jumped to the daily spreads. Now, daily in gold being 130 expirations. And what's cool here, I just want to point out, so gold right now trading 111.47, okay? 111.50 on the dot as we speak. And, you jump around to some of these spreads, and what's always intriguing here, you have very little time until expiration, but if you were going to sell gold, and this is just one scenario if you're bearish, but this is always cool when these line up with your limited risk-reward, defined risk. So right now, you could sell gold at where it's trading, literally. We're looking at a spread that goes from 12.75 to 13.25. So you're approximately about $13 away from the ceiling, right, of 13.25. Yes. And you're able to sell it almost at market.
It's amazing.
With a risk-reward so dramatically in your favor. Now, this would only play out if gold ever went down to 12.75. But if anybody's been following the market, gold could theoretically at least move more than $12 before the end of the day, up or down.
Especially on a Friday.
Yes, and with the jobs, everything playing in. That's why I just kind of want to highlight it. This is basically, the premium factored in here is basically saying that the market doesn't see more than about $12 or $13 being any type of a realistic move, because they're not making you pay premium to be able to sell it with a max loss of 131, which is the $13.10 to the upside, for that max profit, because the market's basically saying, you know what, you have a risk reward in your favor, but realistically you have profit potential of $13 in gold to the upside, and realistically that's enough downside that it kind of equals out. But we know on a Friday, and the action we're getting with the jobs number coming out, it's just cool to highlight that. If you were ever going to sell gold at this level, why not do it in here where you have such a risk reward in your favor and you're not paying premium? Gold, it's literally, the bid right now is jumping kind of right next to the indicative, where you're literally able to sell it at market, essentially.
That's amazing.
With a risk reward in your favor. It is.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge, because it's amazing, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
No, I haven't checked in them yet, but I want to take a peek, because sometimes these binaries with very short expirations get pretty intriguing as well. So jumping into the binaries, these are the 130s, so we're giving ourselves about 3 hours until expiration. Gold currently trading at 13.12 on the dot, we'll call it. And you can see the kind of risk rewards. And we've talked about this when you've been looking at trades, Tom. It's like, and we'll just pull up. So trading at 13.12. They have the first binary above it's at a 13.10. That one you're putting up about 40 cents on the dollar to make 60. But even, you only need to go about $4 upwards or downwards, and you're able to get in there at risking maybe 15 cents on the dollar to make 85. Depending on your market bias, those aren't large moves in gold on a jobs day, on Friday, with the action we already got. With 3 hours until expiration. If you happen to be right about your market bias, they're good trade setups, man, with very little time until expiration, so you're paying very little premium. And if you happen to be right in your market call, there's some serious opportunities there. I just want to bring them up, because especially, when you're purchasing the binaries, you're going to have to be right on your, call, as in, you're going to have to be correct on your market bias. But man, those spreads, pretty cool when you can just sell it basically at market. If it happens to expire right where it is, you break even because you're selling it essentially at market. And meanwhile, you're locking in a risk reward that's almost 3 to 1 in your favor without paying any premium. Pretty cool.
Right.
Right? Pretty cool.
And if you're trading, where this goes, folks, is that you're trading gold in the futures market, you're putting up $3,400 for one contract.
Okay.
And what happens, and this is where it gets really dangerous, is that, as Tommy just said, gold can move $10 or $12 like in a heartbeat, right? Well, 10 or 12 bucks there is $1,200. It's like,
sure.
Okay. So you can do the same thing inside the Nadex platform for dramatically less money. You're getting the same price, but yet your defined risk is totally different.
Yeah, and we're looking at it on a per contract basis. I mean, geez, if you're going to put up $3,400, you're almost talking about 30 contracts in the Nadex platform.
That's right. So you're putting up a third of what you have to put up in the futures market.
Sure.
You gotta love it. Stay right there, folks. Tommy and I are coming right back. We get the Dow.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Tom and Tommy O'Brien. We got quite a pop in the markets going on. Dow Jones up 135 points now after being down over 100 points coming into the market open. We got the S&Ps positive by 6, NASDAQ positive by 50. And we got a caller. We got Paul from Henderson. Early in Henderson out there. Paul, what's going
happening,
on?
Paul?
What's happening, guys? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday,
Happy Friday, man.
How's it going? Hey, you know what? You guys got me paying attention to hockey now.
Oh, good.
I've been watching.
There you go.
You better, man. You got those Las Vegas Knights. They're rocking.
Hey, you know what? But the San Jose Sharks, that's my old hometown, so
Okay.
I'm kind of torn.
Oh, man.
Torn.
They got it done with a 4-0 victory the other night, right?
They were banging them around big time, too, man. Holy cow.
The San Jose Sharks are rough.
Yeah, seriously.
Man, playoff hockey is rough, let alone those guys.
Yeah.
Watch out, man. Totally.
You know, it seems like in hockey they score. Perhaps it was always like this. I just wasn't paying attention, but it seems like they're scoring a lot more goals. I mean, the games are they're really exciting.
Yeah, a few years ago when hockey was really struggling, they made a few rule changes as to, I think they made the net slightly larger. They did a few things to kind of up the ante, but man, hockey's an awesome game. We both played it, so we're biased. We're from Hockey Town, Boston.
Okay.
But I tell everybody, man, it's like, you know, what a fast-paced game. The games aren't too long, right? It's like 2.5 hours, all of it action. It's a great game to watch live, even on TV, but playoffs, man, nothing like it. The intensity for sure.
Yeah, I've been
they
to a
keep
couple
getting
Sharks
better and
games.
better.
I'm gonna have to try to get to a Knights game out here.
Oh, I can't imagine what the atmosphere is like in Las Vegas for some good playoff hockey, man.
Man.
Yeah, and I was talking to a friend last night saying, you know, I can't fathom what tickets would cost for a Stanley Cup final game if a team makes it in Vegas to have you know a cup game going on. You know, I mean, geez, it's an action town, right? Like, and so I can't imagine the type of action that we'd see. But either way, pretty cool.
All right, so hey, man, I want to take a look at Shake Shack.
Yeah, and some burgers. Everyone's eating delicious burgers, it looks like.
Burgers and wings, because Wingstop was going crazy this morning too. But I can only focus on one. So I got in Shake Shack in the morning. I took some profit. But I was wondering, Tom, if you guys could help me out in figuring out where perhaps maybe the next resistance point is, because I'm going to take some of this position and turn it into a swing here.
So let's take a look at it. So Shake Shack, the low is $30 for the year. The high is $57. Now, what's intriguing here, Paul, right, is that this is a heavy burn for people that have short the stock, because 36% of this equity was a short position coming into the numbers. Can you imagine that? That's intense, man. So what you have is that's almost a wipeout when you're on margin. So you're going to see two different things end up happening here. If we were short the stock and you're in margin, immediately you're going to get basically a call, meaning you're going to come up with more money. Now they're going to have to, as a broker dealer, this is like way too close that they'll either close this thing out on people that are short, or they'll probably, you know, we'll see whether they give them to 130. Normally you get to 130 at 2 o'clock. When it gets this close, though, I've seen them close them up left and right in a second. Do you know what I'm saying? Because all this has to do is go up a little bit more, and if they're 50% short, then the account goes into the negative, and, you know, all these computer systems, they're set up to make sure your account doesn't go into the negative.
Okay.
That being said, you know, let's bring this back, and we'll put it on a monthly. I'll put it on a weekly first. So it was trading here in 2015.
Wow.
Let's see. So I get an ABC up. So what's that? That's 30. A is 30 to 46, so it's $16. That's going to get you, we're over that right now. So we're more than a 1-to-1 ABC structure on the way up already. 57. You know, it's really hard to comprehend. Let me do this intraday. It's really hard to comprehend.
What happened in 2015 that had it tanking all the way back? Quite a turnaround they had to pull together.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Here, I'll bring that back up again.
I've never been to this restaurant. Have you guys been there? Is it pretty good?
So I haven't, but I've heard a lot about it. And the guy who started it, Danny Meyer, is a big restaurateur in New York. And I had pulled up their Wikipedia page just because I was curious as to when Shake Shack started. I mean, it started as basically a hot dog cart in Madison Square Park. And then
wow, that's a cool story.
Yeah, and then in 2004, what happened is that, let me get the headline because it's pretty cool how. So they have 136 locations internationally right now. But let me get, because it is a cool, so here, we'll pull it up because it's a cool story, man. So this is the picture that they have in Madison Square Park, and 60 Minutes did a story on him. He's got a couple amazing restaurants in terms of, he owns, it's Union Square. Let's see, I have both of them up there.
Oh, Union Square Burger? Is that what it is?
So yeah, it's Union. So here's Danny Meyer who started it, and where are the companies? So his company that he has, career, here we go. Union Square Cafe was his first restaurant, and that's a big one. What is the name of the company that has? Either way, they have a lot of companies, a lot of restaurants that they have in there. But yeah, so it started out, and then in 2004, it moved to a stand within the park. And what happened is, and I went to the history, so in 2004, the city began taking bids to operate basically a kiosk-style restaurant within the park. And that's where Meyer outlined his idea for a space and opened the first one July of 2004. And it was originally just kind of supposed to be kind of tailored for that type of, you know, in the park, burgers, dogs, right? Good food, but served kind of in a cart style for the park, and it just took off. And they have great food, and so from there it ran, man. Pretty cool.
That's a cool story. Yeah, that's really cool.
And I heard they have amazing food. I mean, the lines in that park are like 30 people deep that sit there. It's like a kind of like a Patch Geno's cheesesteak style line in Philly, if you're familiar at all.
Really?
Yeah, it's just people sit there for, you know, and now they also have it, you know, I think at Yankee Stadium, at Citi Field, or wherever they have, you know, where people just show up to the game early to literally get a Shake Shack burger ahead of the game. Anyway.
You know, so Paul, the way I trade this, right? You know, this is really the only way you can risk reverse reward when something is up. It's up what? It's up 20% today, right? So you see, I got this on a 10-minute, right? You can see this bar that we're overtaking right now. The bottom of that bar is $57.39.
Yes.
I wouldn't let it get underneath that all day.
Okay.
Because what you have here is that the shot position is extraordinary. So we're only what? Yeah, we're an hour into the market. You know, bottom line, some people will have covered, other people are basically sitting there praying, and you know what I suspect is going to happen is that they can keep pushing this all day long, man. And so, you know, every bar that you get a big bar, then you bring the stop up again and put it underneath that, and put it underneath that, and put it underneath that, and just keep going. And I would get out of it at the end of the day, though. That's how I'd shake this out. Because this will get, the probability is very high that every broker-dealer is going to close those positions out on whoever shot this position. They're not going to let this go overnight unless someone comes up with a lot of money to insulate them that this gaps up again on Monday.
That would give it another acceleration going into
Paul and I will come right back.
We'll come right back, Paul. Stay right there.
All right, thanks.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. Are you an options trader that's looking for that extra edge when placing trades? David White will be hosting a webinar on May 16th, which is the Wednesday leading up to options expiration Friday in May, where he'll discuss in depth the methodology he uses for trading options near expiration, including swing trading setups and expiration day trading scenarios. Subscribers to each of Dave's newsletters, Path of Least Resistance and the Technology Insider, gain access to this 60-minute webinar, which will be archived if you cannot attend live. Dave has had some great option trades recently for his subscribers. See for yourself the trading methodology he uses when trading options by signing up today for either of his newsletters, and we'll see you Wednesday, May 16th at 5 p.m. for option trading near expiration, analyzing swing trades and expiration day scenarios. For all the details and to sign up today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. Tom and Tommy O'Brien. We're on the line with Paul from Henderson, and we're talking shakes, we're talking burgers, and as we're talking it, man, this market is rocking. We're up almost 200 points on the Dow now.
Yeah, and you know, inside the Dow, so let's look at this. This is where Apple's going to take this thing over, I think, meaning that today, you know,
it's a big number. I mean, big number, well, percentage.
You know, not as big as Boeing, I guess, but bottom line, you know, Apple's putting 43 positive points, Big Mac 20. Home Depot 16. It's doing its job. Inside the NDX 100, let's just look at that, because I'm sure it's doing its job inside the NDX.
Yes.
Look at that. How is that? That doesn't even make any sense. Huh. That there's, you know, the index is strong. There's heavier ones than Apple right now that are doing the heavier lifting. Isn't that crazy? Wow.
Well, what do you... those don't... Then... What were you looking at there? Because the top list there is percentage moves, which Apple's just under the 3.8%, I believe, on that list we're looking at.
Yeah.
And then the next list actually isn't contributing the points. That's just talking about the point difference.
That's just the point differential, yeah.
Yeah, so the Dow is the only one that gives us that cool metric of how many points it's actually applying.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey, Paul, so you've gone from cryptocurrencies to anything that's moving, huh?
Do we have Paul?
Is he gone? Okay. He must have gone.
Maybe we lost
him. You guys there?
Oh, we got him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever is moving, you know, if I could get on top of it at a good entry point and not give myself too much risk, I try to jump all over it, you know, because
So
and
this
the
one
Momo
here
stocks have been absolutely insane. I mean, this week there was a stock, IMTE, I believe it was. Yeah, IMTE. Intraday, this thing went from $2. This was crazy. This thing went from $2 to $40 intraday. I think that was Wednesday.
It was.
Well, I
don't know what it was, but I caught a little bit of that action, and then I just got out of town.
Well, that's good, because, look at it today, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is psycho, man. Let me just look at this. So what is this thing? It doesn't even say what it is.
Oh, geez. And the market cap, even at $20, is only $50 million. How many shares are there outstanding? So there's only 2.6 million shares outstanding. So when things started at $2, you're only talking about a company valued at $5 million. That's like nothing. You know, any company.
Exactly. And they take in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's not. This is, you know, normally we look at this at quarters. That looks to me like 6 months. They have two.
Well, what happened?
Yeah, it is.
2016, they said $14 million in revenue, and then they have nothing in 2018 with only $5 million in. I don't know. Yeah, pretty intriguing.
Oh, my God.
Very interesting. And then last weekend, EOS was moving very aggressively, and perhaps this weekend, Bitcoin might be the one that gets some action. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because over the weekend they do get more action, right? That's a 24-hour market. There's no doubt, man.
It's going to be interesting. See if it can make a run back up to that previous recent high of around 11,500. It looks like it wants to perhaps get up there. We'll see.
Yeah, listen, if you get a close over this 75, 55, I mean, yeah, that game is there to 11,600. You know, when Tommy and I were at the beginning of the program, I mean, it's pretty remarkable that it is up almost 40, 50% since the low, which is only on April 6th, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. And now you have Goldman, you know, that's what they, yesterday, Goldman, bottom line is that said flat out, they are opening a trading desk. And what they're going to do, which is really going to be wild, they're going to trade in the futures market. So they're going to trade on the CBOE or CME. But what they really are doing, here it is right here. Okay, Goldman Sachs, soon to be the first Wall Street bank to launch crypto-related trading operations. It plans to roll out a number of derivatives that will allow customers to buy contracts related to the price fluctuations in Bitcoin, and aims to create more flexible type of future products called non-deliverable forwards. Down the line, the products will only be available to big institutional investors. They'll take those institutional investors to the cleaners, man. Seriously, the banks love derivative products, you know. And what will happen there, though, no doubt, is that because of that, we are going to get a lot more action, meaning volume,
and just the
inside.
I was just going to say, the last part of that article says the bank's looking to trading Bitcoin itself and not as a part of a derivative. So on top of that, they're going to be trading Bitcoin as they're plowing out tons of different ways for people to trade it themselves.
Right. So watch. What happens is that, and this is why banks love derivatives, because it's non-transparent. Let's picture that all three of us are the bank, right? We make a derivative product. They get the sales team. They go out there and sell it, right? And they make a lot of different ones, right? Then what ends up happening is that the traders, in this case, we know that there's no more traders because Goldman's trading desk went from 500 down to 3. Everything's computers now, right? So then they get the computers programmed to trade around all the derivative products, right? How cool is that? You have you know what the market is because you sold the market, right? And in Goldman's case, they're the first one selling the derivative product, right? And then what's going on is that all they keep doing is trading around the product all day long.
It's almost like an arbitrage, right? Where
Exactly. And, you know, if you have any type of spread in a product, it helps dramatically. And, of course, you're going to have a spread in a $9,000 product.
Yes,
you know?
that moves $1,000 a week, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see both of these. You know, the CBOE contract, like this one is 3,300. The CME is 27. You multiply that times 5. We'll see these go up. And then that brings more people in the market in general, you know, so pretty wild, man.
It's similar to what Nadex, I mean, same, you know, they're offering derivatives. Nadex is a big player in the futures market to make sure that as people are in those derivatives, that they have the underlying assets to cover for themselves. And they're not just exposed to everyone's trades. I mean, they have underlying the underlying, which is Bitcoin, to kind of cover their exposure as people are trading.
I guess I brought up about a month and a half ago, it had, and this is public information, that the CME Nadex was 15% of the market.
Yeah,
and that
makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah, it was because they have to cover.
They were one of the first.
What we're buying and selling on Nadex on that platform, right? Yeah, because they don't want
really cool.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's cool understanding it because then
they don't want to end up with a net position, right? So that's where they lay off their position in the futures market. Exactly.
Right. They want to make a market. When you make a market, folks, you're not saying it's going up, it's going down. You want to make a market in the middle. You make the spread. That's how market makers stay alive forever. You know, pretty amazing.
It's definitely here to stay. I mean, there's a lot of excitement, especially with the younger generation. Like some of my younger cousins, they know that I trade stocks, and they're asking me all the time, like, well, what about cryptos? They don't care about the equity markets at all.
Right.
They're only focused on these cryptocurrencies. And
hey, you know what? Maybe in another 5 years, it's just going to be all digits. That's all we're going to trade is digits.
You guys have a great weekend. Paul. It was great talking to you, gentlemen.
You too, man. Enjoy those hockey games tonight. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, guys.
Take care, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com. Educating investors. Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. We have the Dow right now up 206. You get the Nasdaq up 74. S&Ps are up 13. Percentage-wise out here, folks, what you have the Dow right now up 0.8%. Nasdaq is up 1%. S&Ps are up 0.5%. And we got our man, Mr. Dave White. He's going to be coming up doing a great workshop for you 2 days before option expiration.
That's right. So pretty cool. Time is flying. May 16th, right around the corner. Cinco de Mayo tomorrow to everybody. Enjoy some tacos, maybe a little tequila. We'll see. Nice and fall. Cinco de Mayo on a Saturday. But May 16th. So a week from this coming Wednesday, Dave White's going to be in there with subscribers to Path Least Resistance, Technology Insider, with option trading near expiration. Like you said, that is the Wednesday prior to the Friday of expiration, with that being May 18th. Should be a great workshop, hour-long, 5 till 6. It will be archived. If you can't attend live, you can sign up for Path of Least Resistance, which is what the front page we'll link you to. You can sign up for his Technology Insider, and also he publishes that weekly Technology Insider every Friday, so great day to check it out. And get in there ahead of time, because he's always, the reason why he's doing it is because he's putting on option trades consistently as those the monthly expirations approach, and he's done pretty well recently, had some great trades in there, so he decided to put together a workshop. Should be good. So these markets too, man, 220 points. What's going to happen? This is how our 11 o'clock show, our 10 o'clock show ended yesterday, and from there the cliff fell off. I, for some reason, don't see that happening today.
No, I don't either. You know, this is, I suspect you're going to get a higher market. You get volume contracting. Well, that sets up a nice trading week next week. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's so deviant, though, isn't it? The market is like so deviant.
Well,
it's
when
so
you look
cool,
from
man.
where we were yesterday, we're now a solid 620 points off. I mean, excuse me, up in the Dow in 24 hours. Amazing.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Stay right there, folks. We got swim lessons coming up next in MM. Mr. Basil Chapman, Steve Rhodes, Dave White. Have a great one, folks. Have a safe one. Thanks, Tommy.
Love you, man. Have a good one.
Go get them, folks.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.